permission, I would like to ask Mala Sharma to join, if
Okay,
that's okay with you.
come on up.
Thank you. Mala is the founder and executive director of Georgia Music Partners. And I want to thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members, for the opportunity to present this bill to you. This is not the first time that you have heard it. It has, in fact, passed out of the committee in just last session. But it is a new bill number, SB 182, and it would establish a Georgia statewide music office within the Department of Community Affairs. I don't have to tell you all that Georgia has long been a global leader in music. Our state has produced legendary artists across every genre, from Ray Charles and James Brown to Outkast, REM, and Luke Bryan. The impact of our music industry is undeniable, not just culturally, but economically. This is a $5 billion industry supporting more than 70,000 jobs in Georgia, and it continues to grow. But growth does not happen on its own. So the 2022 Joint Georgia Music Heritage Study Committee, made up of members in both the House and the Senate, including myself, recommended the creation of this office because the music industry needs a centralized, strategic entity to support its expansion, just like we've done for film. So you might ask, well, why now? Well, states across the country are recognizing the economic power of music. Texas, Tennessee, Louisiana, and Oklahoma are just a few. Just last year, North Carolina also decided to establish a statewide music office. They've seen, North Carolina, it's too early to tell, but obviously they've seen the statistics and the measurable success that the other states have had in attracting investment, keeping local talent, and driving tourism. Georgia itself already has major cities investing in music as an economic strategy. Macon, Augusta, Columbus, Savannah, Athens, Blue Ridge, and Brazelton are just a few. A Georgia music office would connect those efforts, promote Georgia's music industry globally, and build a pipeline of talent to stay, grow, and thrive right here at home. So you may be wondering, why not put this, why is this placed under the Department of Community Affairs? Well, it's because this is not just music for music's sake. This is about jobs. This is about economic development. And the Department of Community Affairs is already equipped to support industries that drive local economies. Housing this office within DCA ensures that it will have the resources, coordination, and statewide reach needed to make an impact beyond just our major cities. Music is a business, and this office will help Georgia businesses grow. So what might the office do? Well, develop a music-friendly communities program to support and connect local music hubs, attract music-related investment and workforce development opportunities across the state, promote Georgia's music scene globally, boosting both tourism and industry growth, and of course, support the 48+ music-related post-secondary programs already here in Georgia to retain talent. The bottom line, music is economic development. Georgia has the talent, the history, and the momentum, and we cannot afford to fall behind other states that are already investing in their music industries. The creation of a Georgia Music Office is a smart, strategic step that will solidify our place as a leader in the industry, not just in the history, but in the future. So I ask for your favorable support to build on Georgia's legacy and ensure that our next generation of artists, producers, and music entrepreneurs can succeed right here at home. Let's turn up the volume on Georgia's music economy.
Would you like to make any comments?
I think Senator Halpern did such a good job. I had a prepared statement, but I think I'll just help with questions if that's okay. She did
Okay.
It's wonderful.
Senator, you brought a bill like this last year, and we passed it out of this committee, correct?
We did.
Did it go to the Department of Economic Development last time, and now it's going to Community Affairs? Is that
Yes.
the difference in this bill?
That is predominantly the difference in the bills.
But we're trying to do the same thing,
We're
promote
trying
the
to do
music
the
industry?
exact same thing. Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
Well, I tell you, I do think we can really promote this industry. I mean, I know Nashville, you go to Nashville and they've got 30 bands
Everything.
playing, and they've got
That's right.
music, and they really parlay that into economic development and tourism.
That's right.
And that's the name of this committee, Economic Development and Tourism.
Yes.
So,
And,
all right.
and I'll add, you know, we can attract, with a statewide office that's focused on this every day, they're able to actually get us new business. So if you want to talk about manufacturing, you could talk about instrument makers, and how might we bring some of that business
Gotcha.
here. Tour origination, how do we get tours to start here that does drive the local economy when they're sitting here planning to then go out to the rest of the world from Georgia?
Have you spoke to Commissioner Nunn on this?
Yes.
What was his thoughts? And he's
I think that he is positive on us presenting this.
okay. All right, number 11, is that you, Senator McLaurin? There you go.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman, and thanks, Senator, for bringing the bill. Just so I understand directly, I mean, I'm not an expert in any of this stuff, but I would surmise that the equipment, the school, the training, locations, infrastructure, that almost everything about music is distinct in some way from the generic film and TV bucket, which is part of the reason why the separate office makes sense. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so in a lot of ways, if you think about what we've done in this state in film over the last dozen years, we really have built the infrastructure. And that is because it has had a dedicated focus. Really what we're saying is we want to mirror that dedicated attention and do the same with music. Music has an infrastructure already, but it's disparate. How do we make sure that all of the efforts that are happening in different cities across the state are bound together in a cohesive message that we as a state are taking out into the world to attract more talent and business and everything that goes along with that?
Great, thank you.
Senator, I would agree with you on that. You know, when you look at the film industry, you've got Lee Thomas that, I mean, that's all she's
That's-
dedicated towards.
Yep.
And she's grown it. And
That's
then
right.
the film industry's come here and they've put roots down, they've invested in infrastructure. And so it's not, when we first started that film tax credit, they came, did the film, and went back to California,
That's
did all
right.
the post-production. Now, the film industry, they can do it from beginning
A
to
to
end.
B here.
And they can do every aspect of a movie or a film.
That's right.
And that's really created a lot of jobs. So I think
And-
we could probably do the same thing with this if we have
Yes.
a dedicated source, an
And
office.
actually, I should add, because you mentioned film and you talked about doing everything from A to Z for film, but there's a lot of kind of intersectionality also with music. So even if you talk about scoring, if you talk about kind of interactive and the technology and how that's going to intersect with music, I mean, there's a lot of different ways from a content and creation standpoint this goes beyond just, I like a particular artist. Yeah.
Right. Chairman Summers?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks, Senator, for bringing this bill again. I think we asked this last year, if I should have asked him, just making sure, how does this tie into making music? The thing that goes on to make, I know Senator Mullis at one time worked, in music hall down there and several other people there. Is this, will it be part of that same?
Effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you take that one?
So, at one point, and this body was the predominant driver in supporting that. There were two separate entities. There was the Georgia Music Hall of Fame, the physical location in Macon, and then there was also a Georgia Music Hall of Fame Awards, where each year the state, I think Senator Beach may have attended a few of those back when we had them. And so it was an award honoring and recognizing the greats that come here and that live here and make music. I think there's certainly an opportunity to bring back that statewide sort of visibility to the efforts here. Unfortunately, when that Hall of Fame closed, those items and mementos have kind of been distributed. Some are in Athens now at the Classic Center. We would love to see that memorabilia kind of available statewide so that it could go and tour and be, a part of some of the historic theaters and venues all around the state to be able to attract. And it's history, it's our state's history, and it's so rich and it goes back. So we would love to find a way to bring that back.
All right. Senator Mallow?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I just wanted to raise that we actually have one of the oldest guitar makers, Gretsch Guitars, headquartered in Savannah. both myself and Senator Watson, joint I-16 senators, have a long-standing family business still operating to this day, and you can use a Gretsch guitar for just about anything.
That's
There's
right.
also, in both of your districts, there's Benedetto Guitars, which makes classic guitar. There's 3 or 4 different music manufacturing companies in Pooler and Savannah area.
Okay, I think we have one more question. Vice Chairman again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was really disappointed to hear the senator from the 39th just blow one of my fine colleagues from Hall County and Gwinnett County, the pronunciation of Brazelton. Said and nobody pointed it out to her, and I was like, hell, I got to get up there and get that fixed. Said
Well,
she's already insulted a couple of our members.
Blame it on the New York accent.
All right. Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm the new guy and I can't call you out. So I'm sorry.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
You can call them out.
All right, before we go to the public, any other questions? We've got 2 speakers that would like to speak on behalf of this bill. Okay, we're going to go to the first speaker is Mila.
You can take me off.
Oh, is that you? Okay, all right, we can take you off. So we've got Brian Hudson.